Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech, and as we wait for iOS 18 to bring major changes to different apps, this week there's more updates to Apple apps. We have third-party app updates also for the week of May 3rd, 2024. Now this time around, Podcasts has a small update in its categories. If we go into Podcasts and you go to the Browse category, then scroll down to where there's more to discover, you'll see a new option for well-being. This goes along with mental health, and you can get things such as insights from experts, essentials, begin your journey based on mood, sleep, meditation, gratitude, and more, and then also processing the self, and we have featured channels from places or apps such as Calm. So you can see all of the updates here, and again, that's under Browse. Apple's App Store also got an update this week. You will need to update the app, but if we go into the Apple App Store, so let's see if we can find that here, and if we go into this, there's a new feature where we can shop. So if we go to Shop, give it just a moment here, and you're within specific hours that they're available, you can now shop with someone on video. So as you scroll through, maybe you have some questions, they can answer those for you, and then help you actually shop with video and bring you through the different products instead of being able to go to the store and doing that there in person. So you have that where you can reserve a shopping session and book one-on-one in the store or virtually as well. While the app itself has not been updated, if we go into the Apple TV app and then on our home page here, scroll down, keep scrolling until you get to MLS. They've recently cut the price of the MLS season pass as we're more than halfway through the season. So you can now subscribe for 25% off for basically $69 instead of $99 as it was before. So they've dropped this throughout the season. Maybe they'll drop it again, but if you've been wanting to try this out and you didn't have the will to do that at $99, you can now try it out here. When it comes to games, Apple sent out an email this week talking about the new Apple Arcade games that are going to be here or are here in May. You'll see it's going to be May games. You'll see here where it says Solve Puzzles, Back in Paradise, Escape Peril, and Use Your Wits, all in May's work. So we can see what's new, and it opens up the most recent apps here. Give it just a moment, and you can see new Apple Arcade games. So all of these have been set out, and now they're available if they weren't before. So if you've been looking for something to play and you have Apple Arcade, there's quite a few to choose from. In a recent announcement the other day, we finally heard that Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming to iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max and iPad Air and Pro with the M1 or newer processors on June 6th. We've been waiting for this game for quite some time, and it's only available on the latest iPhones as it is a AAA title. You'll see it says coming soon, June 6th, and you can pre-order it here. So if you've been wanting to try this, you haven't tried it on an Xbox or something else, it should be available in about a month or so at this point. Now we're also waiting for one other game now that there's some new changes to the iPad rules in the EU. They recently said it's a gatekeeper device with iPadOS, and that means that it has to comply with all the same rules as iOS 16. Now we've heard from Epic Games that they're going to be bringing Fortnite to the iPad. So this will only be in the EU until maybe Apple rolls this out around the world, if they're forced to do that, or maybe they'll decide to, but I doubt it at this point. But at this point, we'll at least get it in the EU along with other games and third-party app stores. Also coming soon to iPad is the app for iOS that we've had for about a week or so, the Delta Game Emulator. Delta Game Emulator is a huge app that's was number one on the chart for quite a while, now supposedly replaced with Krispy Kreme for some reason, but it's available on iOS and you can play it on iPad currently, but it's just an enlarged version. It's going to have a native app very soon, according to the developer who posted this on Threads. So we should see that very soon on iPad if you want to play all of your older games on the emulator. Now, Arc Search is one of the best browsers out there right now. It's been getting a lot of different updates, and this week they updated quite a few things on it. If we go into Arc Search, and then at the bottom of Arc Search, once we've allowed the use of the microphone, we can press and hold to search. Show me videos about Vision Pro. We'll give it a second to make the actual search here, and then use AI to generate all of the different videos and websites talking about Apple Vision Pro. So that's something that's been updated. Just press and hold, and then you can search with it. There's also some changes here with a new widget. So if we go to this page, press and hold, add a widget, go down to Arc here, So here we have Arc Search. We now have a new search widget. There's two configurations, one that's wider or a singular space. Let's add the larger one. And then we have it directly in here where we can go into spaces, voice search, or go into search just directly, and it brings you right to the web page. Then you can have it browse for you with all of the things that Arc can do. There's also a request desktop website option as well. So if we go to apple.com, give it a second to load here. Once we're in, we can go to our options and then request the desktop site if we want to do that. They've also improved gesture control when you're swiping for a smoother experience and less accidental swipes. And if you just installed Arc Search for the first time, the onboarding process has been improved and has been changed a little bit. So this is my favorite browser. I'm probably going to use it as my main browser. You'll see how it seamlessly integrates the browser into the widget. It's just a great thing overall, and they've done a great job here. WhatsApp has gotten some updates this week as well. If we go into WhatsApp, when you're screen sharing within a video call, you can now share your device's audio as well. There's also new icons and illustrations, and the notification and buttons have been changed to green now. WhatsApp is also now testing a redesigned drawer editor for some beta testers. So quite a few little updates here. They mentioned them about from 16 hours ago, at least at the time of recording this video, where they've updated these features. So they'll roll out over the coming weeks if you don't have them already with all of these new features. So that's great to see them continue to update this app. Now, while TikTok is facing a potential ban in the United States in about 9 months, there's a recent report from TechCrunch which suggests TikTok may be bypassing the in-app purchase system for the App Store by actually giving a link to some users to go to a website to purchase coins to get around fees in the App Store. Apple's not made any comment about this or said they were going to remove the app, and I doubt they would just pull the app from the App Store unless they had to legally. But it looks like they're maybe avoiding some of the fees potential there, even though they've changed some of the rules recently. Also, TikTok may be facing a similar ban to the US ban in Europe now, with the EU investigating the app. So we may see this banned within a year or so. It's hard to say if that's actually going to happen, but at least in 9 months or so, we could see that gone from the App Store. But either way, it's facing quite a bit of scrutiny across the world. Now, there's a new app from Anthropic that brings Claude AI directly onto the iPhone. It's a generative AI model or large language model, and if we go into it, you'll see I asked it the release date for iOS 18, and this is all the information it gave me. Or we could maybe try a few different things, iOS 17.3 features, and see if it knows what they are. Let's see what it brings up. It doesn't have any specific information, but it is a generative AI model that you can load images into, and it will give you more context. It will sync with web chats, and if you're using that, you can now use it on iOS where it wasn't available before. Passkeys is a feature we've had on iOS for some time. It works across iOS, macOS, iPadOS, visionOS, and it's really easy to just use a biometric authentication method and then log in instead of remembering a password. That's now rolling out to Microsoft apps also. They had an announcement today where it's rolling out to Word and Office apps, as well as Microsoft accounts in general for consumers. So on their website, they actually announced this, and you'll see if we open it in Safari, it says Microsoft introduces passkeys for consumer accounts. So it's been rolling out over the past year or so for many different applications, and finally it's here for Microsoft as well. So that's something that's going to make life a lot easier for many in the future and keep things secure. There were also some major updates for Snapchat that were announced. So if you're using Snapchat, they announced them on their website, and it says try out new looks, fix typos, set reminders, and more. As we scroll down through the announcement, you have editable chats now, you have emoji reactions, AI reminders, map reactions, and then you can create custom Bitmoji looks, express them through AI, and much more. So lots of things that are updated now. So if you want to use that in Snapchat, just make sure you're updated. And so that's everything this past week as far as updates. We're waiting for major updates with iOS 18 to redo many of the apps within iOS. We're expecting changes to everything from music, mail, Safari, messages, and just about every major app, including fitness, maps, and more. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we're going to have more and more apps sort of follow whatever design changes are there with iOS 18. And of course, I think most of us are looking for some sort of redesign or stability in general. Let me know if there's any other apps you'd like me to cover, whether that's for Mac or something else that you've recently seen updated. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.